I only have one rule. Stay out of the basement.
What do you got in the basement?
All right. Well, I am Grant from Screen Rant. It is great to get to chat with you all for Goosebumps The Vanishing. I watched the first episode and I love it already. I can't wait to see what comes from the next set of episodes. I guess we'll start with Stony, then Galilea, and then Elijah. Obviously, this show is based on a franchise that is very historical. How does it feel for each of you really, getting to take up the Goosebumps mantle and carry it forward for a modern audience?
It feels incredible. I mean, this is a legendary thing that we're a part of, and I personally am from Iceland, so like I didn't have Goosebumps growing up. So like when I came to the States like 10 years ago, that was my first time getting like this influx of Goosebumps, and I became a huge fan. So to get to do this is ridiculous. I mean, it's great.
It's so interesting because I didn't grow up reading the Goosebumps book during my childhood, but it just comes to show that like this book series is something for everyone and for all ages, because let me tell you, I am in it now. Like I am on the Goosebumps subreddit. I am reading the books. Like I am just in this whole world, and the fan base is just so incredible. And just, I love like just also seeing their theories on like either season 1 or the books and all that stuff. And there's so much media out there. And I'm just like, I'm so happy I get to be part of this.
Yeah. And I think I'm really grateful to be a part of it too. Goosebumps, as Stony was saying, like it's a massive franchise, and it means a lot to so many people of so many different ages as well. Like even, my mom, like she loved the Goosebumps series, and for me to also love it and know that kids are gonna watch this show too and love it as well, and people all the way, from 2 to 100, like it is amazing to be here. It's been amazing to work with these people too.
Likewise.
It's just been an incredible experience.
I love hearing that from all of you. So my next question is sort of a two-parter, and again, we'll keep the same order of answers. But so you all came into the Goosebumps books in a different way. What do you find is your favorite of the books? And then I love the way this show is sort of an anthology and incorporates those books into each episode. Can you tell me, or can you tease sort of what books we may be able to expect come this season?
Yeah, I think personally, this is also the first book that the first one that I read when I got here, and that was Stay Out of the Basement. And that's the first episode. Like that's how we jumpstart this whole thing. And what else do we have? We have a lot of, there's a couple of other ones.
We had Stay Out of the Basement, we had Monster Blood.
Haunted Cars in there.
The Haunted Car.
The Girl Who Cried Monster.
Welcome to Camp Nightmare. We have so many books in there, which is so fun because, fans of the series can like look out for all the Easter eggs that are in it.
There's a lot,
Yeah.
A lot.
I love that. So then Galilea and Elijah, what are your favorite Goosebumps books coming into the, or before even coming into the show?
Oh my God. Well, okay. I read Stay Out of the Basement because obviously, like I had to. It's just like the first 2 episodes are like based off of it, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get a good start to filming this series. Let me just get into this world and this mindset. And let me tell you, like the ending, why did I actually get goosebumps? I was like, wait, guys, wait, they're onto something. But it was also really cool seeing like, it is based off of this book, but it's also, it kind of brings its own like twists and turns into it, which is really fun as well. So seeing those differences was also something that I really liked.
Yeah.
And the similarities and stuff. But
yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mean, yeah, to kind of piggyback off of what she was saying, like, we have a lot of these different Goosebumps stories, of course, that manifest themselves in this season. I guess the general consensus is Stay Out of the Basement. I think that's like,
there it is.
It's just iconic.
It really is. It really truly is. And I was a Scholastic Book Fair kid, so going there, getting the books, it was a full circle moment.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely the same. That was one of my favorite times of the school year back in elementary was the Scholastic Fair. So I love.
It was awesome.
I never
man.
had that. I hear so
really
much
missed
about it
out.
that it was so iconic. I never got to
out.
do it.
It was such a fun little detour from schoolwork back in the day. So Stony, I'll turn to you next. One thing that I loved about what season 1 did was characters who, similar to Trey, sort of seem like the alpha male bro-y type, do get more complex narrative as the show goes on and a chance at redemption. And I'm curious, Trey starts off as kind of the ruffian for the siblings. What can you tell me about the rest of his arc for this season.
Yeah, I mean, when we meet him, he is definitely this bully, but you can easily see that it's just based on like the insecurities that he has and the jealousy towards Devin and Frankie and their relationship. But there's a certain moment in this season where he's kind of forced to face himself in that way and kind of either get better or get worse, and he really wants to maybe get better. So there's always a development for him, I think, that we might see in the season.
I can't wait to see what comes of that. Then, and Galilea, I'll turn to you next. So Frankie, I find her so interesting in that she seems to just care about people more than anything else, and is drawn to spirits. Can you tell me sort of what is creating that sort of conflict of whether to go with Trey or whether to go with Devin throughout the season?
Yeah, no, I love this question. Yeah, because when I was kind of approaching the role, I kind of saw her as a person who just really values her relationships, right? I think that, when she's with someone, that is kind of just her person, and she puts like everything into that person, and no one else exists when she's with this person. And I think that sometimes she doesn't really realize that she's maybe be hurting someone else because she is doing that. And so that was just something so interesting, because I never saw her as kind of this like wishy-washy person, but more so as someone who truly is having this really hard dilemma, because Trey represents her home life and represents the safety of living in Gravesend and her bubble, and Devin comes into town and it's this new thing, and she's like, maybe I can have this life, and maybe I can be adventurous and rebellious and kind of go that route. So I think she definitely has a really, really tough choice to make this season.
Well, again, as I've been saying this whole time, I really can't wait to see what comes from the rest of the season. I see I have to wrap up already, so I will get on out of here. Elijah, I promise I look forward to what your character arc is coming from as well.
His character's great.
He's great.
And to keep the word alive about the show. So thank you all so much for taking the time. I truly do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Things have been happening that are not normal.